So Gothamites, as Gotham is over as a whole series now, the finale of Season 5 aired, and it's time, I thought it's time anyway, to do a Q&A, a post-season Q&A, but we could call this a whole post-show Q&A. So I got you guys to submit a bunch of questions, and I have picked a few to answer. So let's go over the Gotham post-show Q&A. What is up, Gothamites? Welcome to a brand new Gotham video. What? The show's over and we're making more Gotham videos. Yep. Well, to be honest, this is the perfect one to make. I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. Now that the show has ended, it makes perfect sense for you guys to submit a bunch of questions that you want my opinion on, or at least my perspective of whatever I think of certain said question in the show. And you guys submitted a bunch of them. Now there's I think there's over a couple of hundred freaking comments, so I'm gonna probably have to split this into two Q&A videos, which is only a good thing. It only means more Gotham content for you guys in the meantime, and it means I can answer more of your questions. Also, Gothamites, I want to say stick around to the end of the video so I can announce the Boba freaking postcard giveaway. I'm gonna write a freaking written letter to the winners. I've picked 5 already from the comments section of my finale review. So stick around to the end to hear the 5 winners and see if that's you. And if it is you, I need your address so I can send this to you. So let's do this. So question number 1 is from Wally or Wall J. Did Batman kill Jeremiad? The amount of times I've been asked this, and I did say it in my review. This means Wally J. Did you not watch my review, man? Come on, but I'm joking. But either way, did Batman kill Jeremiad? No. Just makes no sense. I do get how some people thought that, I guess, since he got impaled in the hand with a batarang. And I guess if it hit his head, I mean, it just bounced off his head, bounced off his skull, knocked him out. Batman in this universe doesn't kill. They've heavily emphasized that, even though they've kind of effed it up a couple of times. Debatable. But either way, I shall not kill. That scene with Alfred, even though there's been kind of killing since then with Ra's al Ghul. But whatever, what I'm trying to say is he wouldn't have killed Jay. That was honestly just like a batarang to the head, even though it would be sharp. That's why they did a little bit of blood going out of his head when it dinged off. But other than that, he just got knocked the F out. So the next question, guys, is from Shaved Squatch. Okay, interesting name. What overall rating would you give to Season 5, and where would you rank it amongst other seasons? I don't really like giving ratings, but if I do give them, I have to give it out of a 10, because I think 5's just too, it looks too harsh if you call it a 3. What would I give Season 5 as a whole? I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, and I think that's being generous, just because, I love the show, but it's not the most perfect show in the world, but it's done a pretty good job that's above average, 5 being average, so it's definitely not at 5 or below average, but it's not a 10, which is what I regard as flawless. So 7.5. Where would I rank Season 5? I would still rank that my favorites. Actually, would I? I really enjoyed Season 4. Maybe I would say Season 4 and then Season 5. But it's almost very close between Season 5 and Season 4 for the first spot. Then it's 3, 2, and 1 from best to worst. So next question from Batman vs. Superman. Where the hell are Freeze and Firefly? So guys, these characters just were not included. Just they're out there. You could say they're out there in the city. They're out there in the no man's land, but they didn't have time. I said this a bunch of times before the season even started. Essentially, we're going to have a lot of things sacrificed because there's only so much time to include certain storylines, certain characters. You won't get development for other characters. The only character they pretty much wanted to give that payoff to in terms of more screen time was Victor Zsasz, but you can't choose and pick everyone. Next question. The superhero dude. If Gotham had more episodes and seasons, which storylines, villains, and heroes would you like to see? Jesus Louises, this is a long... I think I might answer this in a separate video. Which storylines would I have liked to have seen? Jesus, there's so many. I probably would have liked to have seen, if it went on for loads of more seasons, it would have been cool to see Bruce do some more Batman Year 1 stuff. As I said, I would have liked to have seen a training montage, but it would have been cool to actually see him travel, but I don't know if that would have worked in this show. They would have kept it within Gotham. Villains, there's a bunch of, Rogues Gallery or just general Batman. I would have liked to have seen the Ventriloquist do more. not freaking die because it's a Gotham thing to do. Heroes. We could have got, a lot of people ask me about, what about Dick Grayson? They could have put that in there at some point just as a kid, but he wouldn't have been a hero. So I don't think there would be many heroes around, like at this point. I mean, there has been. I swear I read one time in a Batman comic, I can't remember what one it was, but like the Green Lantern, there was like an old ass Green Lantern back in the day of Gotham City. I can't remember. That would be cool, but it's not like we would ever get that. Next question is from Leo Riley. Do you think they will have a Gotham Season 6 comic or graphic novel like they did for Smallville? Do I think they will? I have no idea. No idea in the faintest clue. What? No idea. It would be awesome, seriously, because I think a lot of Gothamites would love to see more adventures from maybe Batman running around in the 10-year time jump, seeing what Penguin and Riddler did next to face the Batman, when they were like tomorrow. See what happens to Jay when he wakes up. Does he meet Harley Quinn or Harleen Quinzel in Arkham? Like, all of these things you could solidify in a comic book. So, do I think they'll do it? I'm not in the know. It's not like, I think it is possible, but I don't know if they're going to do it because they might just think, the show's over now, let's let kind of it die. We don't need to give this more to the fans unless they were absolutely ripping our ears off for it. I don't think they'll do it unless it's a very clear thing that it will sell a lot of copies. And even though you fans will probably, us fans, will be like, yeah, but we'll buy them. I don't know if their projections or predictions would make a lot of profit. That's what I think as to why they wouldn't do one, but I could be talking out of my ass there. So next question's from Craze Madness. Why did Gotham not have Man-Bat in Season 5? So yeah, you may remember me reporting the reports of John Stevens and Danny Cannon and people of the producing side of the show saying that we'd have more characters in Season 5, such as Man-Bat, Mother and Orphan and stuff in the mix, etc, etc, but we only got Mother and Orphan in a way, kind of, and no Man-Bat, and I'm glad, because I kind of said I didn't want Man-Bat in Season 5. I'm not saying they listened to me or anything, but I just kind of said I really hope that he doesn't go into the show, because he just looks so bad from the end of Season 4. Personally, maybe they did think that themselves. Maybe they got a bit of feedback from fans, just in terms of it wasn't only me who thought that. So, with the time constraints in Season 5 as it was, they probably thought, oh, let's do whatever instead, like what we saw in said episode, and they didn't do Man-Bat because they thought it'd be not as good as what they probably ended up doing in whatever episode, which makes sense. Next question is from Arrow Point Wolf, #RipArrow. How do you think Jeremiad would have evolved had the show not been cheated out of its original 7-season plan? That's a tough question. I don't have to answer that mega specifically. All I know is that the show would have carried on doing iterations of the Joker. That's what they've done with Jerome. That's what they did with Jeremiad. And both of those kind of still mirrored different Jokers throughout their time alive, like Jerome did. He didn't just stick to one kind of approach. That's, for example, when Season 1, he didn't have the scars, and then he did, and then he even changed up more and more. I guess they would have stuck with Jeremiad. I think maybe it really wouldn't have surprised me if John Stevens, if they had another 2 seasons, that they would have killed Jeremiad and that there would have been a third. Even though they still did that in a way, with the third being Jay, but not Jeremiad anymore because he got reborn through the chemical vat. So, I don't know exactly how that story would have went, what they would have done, but I know they would have given us more iterations of comic book Jokers. Whether they would have kept Jeremiad or not, that would be interesting. Whether they brought back Jerome or not, Jesus God, I'm just going to stop there. I don't want to get people going mad about that. So Badass Sasha asks, do you think that they will show, do you think they will do a show like the Arrow or the Flash, named The Batman, in which they will continue the story of Bruce and everyone in Gotham after the 10 years or maybe more? Probably not, but I like to hope. To put it very, very, very extremely bluntly, no. No, they're not going to do it. I want to say I promise you they won't do it, because they will one day do a Batman show, most probably again. But that's when, the leaves and the dust is settled on the novelty that they can make a lot of money off of that character in the cinematic universe. That's the main reason, I think. They're not going to give us a Batman show. They're not going to do it, especially in the continuity of Gotham, the Gotham universe, which started with this TV show. Because, they want to make movies. They don't want to kind of like, I don't want to say the word like belittle it down to a TV show, but I feel like that's like the bluntest way to put it. They don't want to put that character to a TV show level until they're finished milking all that, sweet Batman money from the cinematic side of things. But it will happen one day, but not anytime soon, not in the next few years or anything like that. So next question, Mortal Kombat Aftermath asks, if they had to stick with one Joker, who would you prefer better, Jerome or Jeremiad? Now, I love Bits and prefer Bits over each of the characters over one another at different points and different aspects. But if I had to decide one, it would be Jerome Valeska. I prefer the more loopy, hoo-hee, ha-ha, aha, ooh, aha, Joker, if you know what I mean. That sounded so weird. But I did like how unhinged they made Jeremiah in season 5. Don't get me wrong. But the thing that completely undersells Jeremiah versus Jerome is, fair enough, they kind of fixed Jeremiah to cater to a lot of fans with season 5's unhingedness. He was a lot more loopy instead of, hello, Bruce. Like in season 4, it was so like monotone. But there's no history behind him. It was just like, spawned onto the screen, whereas Jerome had a proper arc, development, all those kind of things. Versus Jeremiah, it was next to none, really. So Jerome. Blimey, this is a long comment. BA4 says, Boba, what did you think about the Harvey Dent storyline or lack thereof? I got quite a few questions about this. It may have been my biggest / only disappointment of the show. I believe they could have dug deeper with his character, went into his background more throughout the series. Yep, I completely agree. Though he became Two-Face after the Batman arrival, they could have done more with Harvey Dent's character and storylines, displaying his rise as a very young whip behind the ears DA, or having him as young as Bruce and building their friendship, etc. Thoughts? Love to work together on a project anyway. Please tag me if you respond. If not, thank you anyway. So I don't know if I probably did screenshot a few more, like where I think there's like a where the hell is Harvey Dent from a lot of people. Essentially, guys, they would have done more probably. I don't know if this was on their side of things or if Nicholas D'Agostini, or whatever his name is, the guy who plays Harvey Dent, booked another show, which he did. He was on another show, so he wasn't able to be Harvey Dent. But I don't know if that was a consequence of Gotham themselves not pursuing the Harvey Dent storyline and him being like, well, I need to go get another gig. And so he wasn't available for the rest of Gotham. I don't know. But either way, that's the real reason. Like, he wasn't available anymore. But that is if I have to give any answer to anyone, guys. Whether it was Gotham, as I just said, deciding they weren't going to do much of a Harvey Dent storyline, so that actor pursued another show, booked a regular role. Or if they wanted to, but he had already booked a show on another thing, so they couldn't do it anymore, and didn't want to recast the actor. It doesn't matter. He wasn't available for whatever reason. That's why. But they could have. There was a lot of potential. I wouldn't have minded. And I said my original season 5 plan, if it was up to me, providing we got like a season 6 as well, was that Harvey Dent would be the fall of Harvey Dent and the rise of Two-Face before Bruce even became Batman. That's absolutely fine. It would have worked on Gotham. So the next question is from the Phoenix, and he asks, would you like to see Cameron Monaghan portray Joker in the future? BobaTalks. Yes, 100,000 billion gazillion % yes. I get asked questions all the time. Why can't Cameron or this cast member be this character in the DC cinematic universe? It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. And I'm not saying, I'm the dictator of the movie universe. It just, you don't get a guy going from a network show to suddenly being that same character in the cinematic universe of whatever comic book property it is. So DC, you don't get David Mazouz going from a Gotham TV show, Batman prequel, to then being cast as a Bruce Wayne in the DC cinematic universe. It just doesn't, it won't happen. And the only time that will kind of happen for the same actor, which I would still say is it is totally doable, it is, but it would have to be like 8 years later or something like that, maybe less, depending on the age of the actor. Same with Cameron Monaghan. So I can easily imagine this guy when he's like 32 applying for some other Joker role and then being like, yeah, but immediately afterwards that just wouldn't happen. I'm telling you now, they would cast somebody else, even though Cameron Monaghan is perfect for that role and that character. He lives and breathes and that understands the soul of that character. But I can't really back up my reasons as to why, but I feel like a few of you understand why they just wouldn't do that transition from, TV show to movie character of, the same actor playing both characters. But anyway, next question. How do you think Selena and Bruce's relationship will turn out? In a 10-year time jump? Just exactly the way it was, but more flirtatious and more, because they're older. These guys are adults. They're both 27, 28 or whatever. It'll be like just like the animated series of Batman. The reason why I reference that so much is just the way, because we have it in motion compared to a comic book. But of course, it'll be more comic booky. But then again, you get so many iterations of these characters in comic books. So, you know, Batman the Animated Series, flirtatious, kind of mixed in with the history of Gotham, of these two knowing each other as children. I love it. I can totally picture it. So next question is from Excel. How do you feel about Man-Bat not being in this season? Already been over this. I don't know why I took the second screenshot. But yeah, I'm happy. I don't think he looked great. It would have been a very, I think, low-key kind of cringy thing for them to attempt to do. In terms of it would have looked bad on screen. So I'm guessing that's why they didn't do it. Not just because of time, but it didn't look that great. Mr. Valeska asks, what did you think of Echo being killed off? That really hurt me. Said this in my review, Echo. Sorry, Mr. Valeska. Didn't watch it, did you? No, but really, what did I think? I'm actually okay with it. I didn't think I would be, but in my review I said it makes sense because, you know, at the end of this episode of The Time Jump, Jay, he's basically the Joker, but hasn't got that proper name yet. But he is that final rendition of that consciousness, that character. So he would have gone to Arkham. And I'm guessing, you know, this being 10 years later, of course, you know, there would be a lady by the name of Harleen Quinzel working there. She would be seduced by the Joker and she'd become the new Harley Quinn. Well, because she is Harley Quinn. Harleen Quinzel. So Echo would have been the proto Harley. So it would have worked. It's fine. It's fine. In my head, it all matches up. But, you know, it was sad to see Francesca Root Dodson go as Echo because she played such a great iteration of Harley Quinn in the essence that, you know, in this Gotham universe, you could have had her be the Joker's Harley without being called Harley. But, you know, now they've done it the other way. It now can line up with traditional kind of canon. Not that every traditional kind of canon iteration has a previous Harley by the name of Echo, but you know what I mean. Next question, Boba, did you feel, sorry, this is from Christian Fajardo. Boba, did you feel this episode was a bit rushed? Don't mind it, but I felt like it was. Yes and no, but to be expected, guys. I'm seeing so many comments like this. I feel like I said it 1,000 times, but I've always said from the beginning, but maybe a lot of people didn't listen to this that much, that this show would be rushed, sorry, this last season, because of the restrictions on episodes, the time constraints. It would feel very, the amount of stuff they have to do in just 10 episodes that turned into 12, but still. So of course this finale would feel rushed in the sense that it's 40, or it's also like, what, 38 to 43 minutes on average, an episode. They could have made it longer, I guess, but maybe they just didn't have the money or the budget and the time slot on the channel. But it is what it is, and I feel like they did a good job considering they were juggling 50,000 different balls in the air. Man, I get asked this question so much. Shady Music says, what happened to Sophia Falcone? Nothing. She's still in a coma. Like, I don't get why this is such a big thing for everyone. I get, you know, you could argue she got evacuated, you know, because she was in a coma. She would have still been, you know, needed to be looked after, and but you never know. She could have just been left there to die, and that's her fate. But no, I doubt it. You know, what happened to her, make that own comic book logic up in your head, but she was still in a coma, and as simple as that. Oh wow, this was an interesting question. So Daunted Fire asks me, does Alfred know that Bruce is actually Batman? Yes. What kind of question is this, Daunted? No, but really, yeah, he does. Of course he does. You know, of course he does. But just to give you even more evidence, you know, when Lucius was talking to Alfred about what Bruce told Lucius that he wanted to do and what he had planned, Alfred knew all about it. And remember that conversation they had about, we are just the servants to Master Bruce. We are here to help. He knows. Come on, Daunted Fire. Come on. I'm joking. But I think that's actually as many questions as I can answer in this video, guys, because it's already gone over 20 minutes, so I'm going to cut it here. I did have a few more taken down, so sorry I didn't answer all of them, plus there was a whole bunch more, so I'll answer those in the next Q&A video, guys. But it's now time for me to freaking announce the winner of the postcard with Boba Maya artwork drawn by Mrs. Van Dam. With the old BobaTalks logo on there as well. Not that you can see that properly well. I will write a letter from the Booba to your address wherever you are in the world, whether it be France or Germany. Why am I only talking about Europe? So Texas, freaking Egypt. I'll send it wherever. So remember to qualify for this giveaway of a letter. It's weird to say giveaway of a letter, but you had to put Baby Papa Gordon in your comment in my review. So number 1, Mecha-Mike. You have won one of these handwritten letters. Number 2 is the Geek Buzz. Number 3 is Jokester Studios. Number 4 is X Jeremy. It's not Jeremy, but it's Jeremy X. Number 5 is Jan Kohut. K-O-H-U-T. Jan, or John, no, it's Jan Kahoot. So you guys have won. So once again, that's Mecha Mike, the Geek Buzz, Jokester Studios, X Jeremy X, and Jan Kahoot. Make sure you contact me. You can do this via Twitter. If you still can't get a hold of me, or like you don't have Twitter, for example, join my Discord server, or try and contact me on my channel. I will also announce this in the community section of my YouTube channel, just so you guys can see it. But if you guys miss it after a certain amount of time, I will pick another winner and try and contact that winner one way or another. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If you did enjoy it, please support the channel by leaving a like on it. It really does help the channel out. Subscribe if you're brand new for all kinds of comic book nerdy videos on this channel. But thank you so much for watching Gothamites. Oh yeah, by the way, leave some video suggestions down in the comments below for extra Gotham bonus content that you want to see. That will be posting randomly throughout the months. But thank you so much for watching Gothamites. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.